Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another figure from the Marvel Legends X-Men Apocalypse BAF Wave. And today, take a look at Multiple Man, good old Madrox. He's, like I said, build a figure from Marvel's Apocalypse, and we'll take a quick look at the packaging. You got the X-Men logo up there, X-Men Multiple Man figure in the packaging. Pretty cool image of Madrox there on the side, same on the other side there. Cool product shot. A little brief bio, which says, not to be duped by duplication, Jamie Madrox uses the ability to clone himself to assign liaisons to travel the world and acquire new skill sets. He is, like I said, part of the Apocalypse BAF Wave. I've already reviewed Gladiator, Wolverine will be following, and then the rest of the figures will be following once I get them in the mail. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. So I'm going to take Madrox out and take a closer look at the figure. Alright, I got Multiple Man out of the packaging, and I gotta say, this Madrox figure is actually pretty cool. Again, this is not a character I'm super familiar with. I am more familiar with Multiple Man than I am with Gladiator, because I at least heard of Multiple Man before. I know his skill set and kind of know his basic sort of backstory and all that jazz. Yeah, he's actually a really cool figure, and he doesn't use like a ton of new parts. It's a lot of recycled stuff, and it just works really well. This is a fun figure. I'm not sure if I'm going to get multiple Mans or not. I canceled, like I had the originally I had the whole wave on pre-order, and then when I got these figures in the store, I canceled my pre-orders for the ones I already got. I was tempted to keep a Madrox on pre-order, but I decided not to. But down the road I might get another one, because to do a really good Multiple Man display, you need to have multiple Men. But yeah, he's really good actually. I actually like him a lot. It looks really cool, and there's a lot of cool things they did with this figure, despite being a lot of recycled parts. So let's just straighten him out here, get them all ready to go. So this is his, I think this is his 90s X Factor costume. I think, like I said, I'm not the most knowledgeable on this. I didn't do my homework, so I apologize. But I think this is his costume from then. This definitely screams an older costume for sure. But I really like the design. I like the whole X-Men costume, or X-Factor costume, and then having the coat over it. I think that's cool. I don't know. I like that. Look at the head sculpt. One of many. He does come with 2 other head sculpts. I think is really cool. But this is the one he comes out of the package with. So this is more like angry Madrox, and I think that's really cool. He's got the, don't want to call it a mask, like the head thingy from his suit, and you got the X logo there, which is really well painted, looks really good. This guy's ears sort of poking through the fabric, which is really cool. Got that angry face, which I think the teeth are painted, pretty well. Eyebrows are done well. And the eyes, what's interesting, as you can see here, because there's a bit of a seam, which kind of is a little annoying, but it actually looks like they sculpted the eyes onto this head, and then they put the face as a separate piece over top the eyes, to give it that sort of, the eyes, that extra depth, which they did with the Black Series, Hasbro did, with the Black Series Qui-Gon Jinn figure. Try to make that look a little more realistic, and they did it with his Madrox for his masked head sculpts, and I think that's really cool. I didn't actually notice that when I picked them out at the store, so I like that a lot. He is on the Bucky Cap mold, which I think is fine. I think it works for this figure. The paint apps on this guy are okay, like that. The black there looks good, but then this yellow, it's like smudging on the edges a bit, and the blue looks like it's sort of bleeding through a little bit. It's a little messy, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but it doesn't bug me a whole lot. You get some yellow there, which looks good. And one thing I'm really happy about, like I said, is the coat. This coat's been used a few times. What I like about it, well, first of all, the brown looks good, and the sculpt, like always, looks really good. They use a black wash around the collar, and I don't know if anywhere else or not. It's a little hard to tell, but definitely around the collar use a black wash. I think looks really cool. And what's also really cool is they use a really thin and really pliable plastic for this, so you can really move the coat a lot. Like, it does not hinder a whole lot of movement that it possibly could have. So I really like that. It is really pliable. I love that. Here's the arms here, which I'm pretty sure are arms we've seen before for coated figures. I know for a fact, or not for a fact, I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure they're the same arms used for the Netflix Punisher and probably other coated figures as well, so that's fine. It does sort of sacrifice a double hinge, unfortunately, but I don't think you need to get Madrox in super crazy poses anyways, so I don't think it really hinders him a whole lot. And the rest of the figure is just, you know, blue legs pretty much. There's really not much to talk about there. So he looks really cool. I actually really like how he looks. I wasn't sure how much I was going to like this figure, and I'm definitely probably liking it more than I was expecting to. In terms of articulation, this Bucky cap, there's nothing really out of the ordinary. There's no pivot at the head. You look up a decent amount with the collar, which is pretty good, and you look down all the way. He's got shoulder move out, swivel with the bicep, single hinge at the elbow, which on this side goes slightly beyond 90. This one doesn't really. Hinges on the hands going in and out. You know, the crunch is a little looser than I like, but it's not too bad. His swivel at the waist is pretty loose, which is unfortunate. Hips move out alright, and like I said, the coat gets out of the way. So you don't need to worry about the coat at all. Swivels at the thighs, double hinges the knees, swivels at the calves, and hinges the ankles with rocker joints. So all your standard stuff. All the joints except for the waist joint and somewhat the ab crunch are a little loose. They're all tight. Or a satisfying tight aside from these joints, but they're not too bad either. I've seen way worse. So in terms of accessories, I didn't show it yet, I forgot, but he does come with the, which leg is this? The right leg to Apocalypse. So I will be taking a look at this BAF eventually. But there's a quick look at that. So you do get that, of course. And you get two other head sculpts. So first off, you do get another, I guess, masked head sculpt. I'm just going to call it mask because it's easier to do so, which just has a Happy Madrox. Looking kind of cheeky. The paint apps are a little sketchy on the red X. They kind of missed the mark just a little bit. But aside from that, it looks good. So I'll swap those out. It's pretty easy to do, I think. Oh, that actually took a little more effort than I thought. This head's actually pretty tight on the ball joint. But you can get that on there, and I think that looks really cool as well. I like that. I like the Happy Madrox. And then popping this head off, it also comes with a completely, I guess, cowl-less head, which I think looks cool. People have said it looks a lot like the Peter Parker head. I'd agree, it looks a lot similar. I do have that head. I don't have it on me to show a comparison. But I think this one still looks different enough to be its own thing. Whoops. I'm dropping heads here. I'm taking a look beside... showing it beside the Mass Madrox head. I think they're just a little too different, I suppose. But it's okay. I think it's cool we get this at all. We get this many heads. I think it's really cool. That pops on a little easier than the other one. Though it almost looks like it sits on the neck a bit higher than the other ones too, but it still looks good. And you got Madrox there without his cowl on. I think that looks pretty cool too. So you get a lot of options for this, a decent amount of options for display with the different heads, and it's also really good because if you're going to army build this guy to have multiple men, so you can have his dupes, you can give them multiple faces so they can look just a little different and not just be straight up clones, which I think is really cool. So I'm just going to actually no, I'll keep this head on there for now. So I'll do some quick size comparisons here. So here is Madrox, and here is another figure in the Bucky cap mold. Here's the Juggernaut Wave Deadpool. Deadpool actually looks slightly taller. Yeah, he looks, maybe it's just the way I have the legs, but yeah, this Deadpool is actually slightly taller. It might be because of the different shins, maybe. But yeah, I think they scale good. Not sure how tall. I don't think Madrox is supposed to be a huge character. Here he's next to a bigger character. He is with the Deadpool Wave, recent Deadpool Wave Cable. I think that looks good. I like that. And then here he is with the only other figure from the wave I reviewed so far. Here is next to Gladiator. So that's pretty cool. Overall, I think this figure is actually really cool. I think it's a really cool addition to the wave. I think people will be really happy to have a multiple man or a modern multiple man in the collection for Marvel Legends 6-inch scale. I think he's really well done, actually. I think they did a really good job on this one. So if you're looking to get this wave, and definitely if you're looking to get a multiple man in the collection finally, highly recommend picking this guy up. He's really cool and a lot more fun than I'd expect. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know anything in the comments down below, and stay tuned for the other figures in the wave, which will be coming soon. Thanks. Bye.